I want to ask you a question about these DBs, G. Do you know if any of them can potentially play safety? Is that the vision for some of these guys, the Keontae Scotts, the Tamarcus Cooley's? What do you think is going on in that, and what are you hearing?
Um, I'm hearing that Mansour Delane, the cornerback from Virginia Tech, he can play some safety. I think they're gonna start off with the vision of him playing corner, but if they don't like how things look in the spring, you could see Mansour Delane playing some safety next year as well. So I think that's always a option for them that they can fall back on. I know they had talks with him about that, leading up to him signing with LSU. And then Toviano's gonna be moving to safety, and I know that he might not have looked the best in that bowl game, but he's somebody like I talked about, a couple episodes ago that he's familiar with playing safety in high school, and I know the SEC is a different beast, but uh, I think he's somebody that's possibly going to have an opportunity to start at that position. We know about Deshaun Spears, who started a couple of games as a true freshman this year from Denver Springs, that people are excited about. Joel Rogers played a good bit in the bowl game. He's somebody that's probably going to have to take another step in the spring to get an opportunity to be on the field next year. But I think the kid from NC State is somebody that is probably going to end up signing with LSU. The kid Scott from Auburn, from what I'm hearing, it's kind of a long shot if he ends up signing with LSU. But we'll see. Stranger things have happened. But I think, you know, LSU is in a good place. Uh, in the DB room, I think if they can get one safety signed going into that spring and have it going into that fall camp, I think they'll be all right. But don't sleep on Mansour Delane being somebody that plays a little safety next year.
I'm glad you dropped that gem because I mean I was just thinking going into that signing and just seeing what he's done in the past, he'd be a lock at corner. But hearing that he's got some versatility that he could be plugged and play, kind of eases your nerves a little bit, G. And
And Ashley Stamps. Ashley Stamps is somebody too that I could see possibly making a change to safety as well if they can't find what they're looking for in the portal.
why do you think they would lean there? Is it more towards the length? Is it because he has experience in the scheme? What do you think would make him kind of be a good fit for that role switch?
I just think that Ashton is somebody that you know when you talk about next year, you think about Mansour Delane, you think about Jaheim Jackson coming from Florida, you think about DJ Pickett. Those guys I feel like are in the plans of the staff to be their top three corners next year. Not saying that Ashton Stamps can't be in that conversation, but I think that if they needed a safety and somebody with some experience on that roster already, I think Ashton Stamps could be somebody that they say, look, let's go play safety. All right. Like I told you, Mansour Delane is somebody they already talked to about that before he signed with LSU. So be on the lookout for that possibly with Ashton Stamps and Mansour Delane playing a little safety next year.
All right. Makes sense, especially, if you're going to be in a very competitive role, it's probably your best bet to be able to keep getting some field time, keep getting some experience out there, maybe complimenting the team in their best regards. I want to talk to you about those silent hits that we've been hearing about, right? Apparently, LSU's got a safety that they're waiting to potentially get eliminated or potentially win the national championship here in these college football playoffs. Do you think that you kind of start to get those wheels moving after this weekend? Or when does that kind of come to fruition?
You talking about them LSU trying to get another safety?
Out of this portal.
As we all know, they get 5 days after the team is eliminated to be able to get a safety that's in the playoffs. So I think if they can get one, I've been hearing that they possibly could get two, but if they can get one, man, I think they'll be good going into that spring, going into the fall camp. So could it be on one of these teams that's in the playoff right now? Possibly. We'll see. And don't forget that the portal will open up again after the springtime. So I think a lot of things will get suited out once the spring starts. They gonna move people around, and I think they gonna play around with Mansour Delane playing a little safety sometime in spring and see how it looks. They're gonna play around with Asher Stamps playing safety a little bit and see how it looks. So uh, it's gonna be interesting to see how it all shake out.
And to kind of build off of the point of the depth and just having all those pieces in the room. I mean, look, that wasn't LSU a few years ago. I feel like that's kind of played into the point of that process and the path that Brian Kelly's tried to bring to LSU, right? You know, get your younger guys developed and put into this scheme to where if an Ashton Stamps, after what, a year and a half of full experience, has to get thrown into a new position, a new, role, so to speak, he'll kind of be able to take it on the chin and be able to keep running.